For someone who's never heard of it, what exactly is the hero's journey? The hero's journey is a storytelling framework that, identified by mythologist Joseph Campbell, describes a universal path that heroes in myths, legends, stories, and movies go through, leaving the comfort zone, facing trials, transforming through struggle, and returning home changed. It's powerful because it mirrors the cycles that we all experience in our lives: growth, challenge, and transformation. Why is the hero's journey relevant outside of movies and mythology? It's because the hero's journey is essentially a roadmap for personal growth. Every time you face a challenge in life, whether it's launching a business, making a career change, or overcoming a personal health obstacle, you are stepping into your own hero's journey. And by seeing your life through this lens, you stop treating struggles as random setbacks and start viewing them as essential steps in your transformation. So the main stages of the hero's journey are as follows. The journey has many steps, but here are the core steps. Number one is the call to adventure, a challenge, an opportunity, a disruption that pushes you out of your comfort zone. Two is the crossing the threshold. You commit to and step into the unknown. Three is the challenges and the trials. You face obstacles, enemies along the way. And number four is the ordeal, the big test or crisis where you face your deepest fear. And finally, the transformation, you gain new skills and insights or strengths. To return home, you bring that new wisdom back into your life, to your family or work. And how can someone like you use this framework for personal growth? Let's say you're trying to get in shape, trying to lose weight. At first, you resist change, but then you feel the call when your doctor warns you, or you realize you're in the deep end with your health. The threshold is committing to a fitness program or a coach. The trials are overcoming cravings, missing workouts, or doubt that creeps in. The ordeal may be pushing through a plateau or breaking old habits. Then you emerge transformed with discipline, energy, confidence. When you return home, you not only look better, but you lead by example, inspiring others around you. How does the hero's journey apply to professional life? Well, careers are full of hero's journeys. Think of starting a new business. The call might be a frustrating dead-end job. The threshold is quitting that job and investing in your idea. The trials are financial stress, market rejection, or tough decisions. The ordeal may be a near failure or crisis, a test of your resolve. Transformation comes when you adapt, you innovate, you get stronger. And when you succeed, the return is not just profit, it's the impact that you create for your customers and your employees. Why do people often get stuck in their own hero's journey? Because the hardest part is committing to the unknown. Many hear the call, but refuse the call, and they retreat back to the comfort zone, or they get discouraged during the trial phase and quit before the transformation. Recognizing where you are in the cycle helps you push forward, knowing that struggle is part of the process. What's one practical step someone can take today to live their hero's journey? I want you to ask yourself, Where am I being called to step out of my comfort zone right now? It could be a difficult conversation, a fitness goal, a career move. Then consciously see that obstacle as a trial instead of a failure. That mindset shift turns into growth. So ultimately, the hero's journey isn't just about stories, it's about transformation. The power of the hero's journey is that it reframes your life as an adventure. Every challenge becomes meaningful. Every setback becomes a lesson, and every success becomes part of a larger transformation. When you see yourself as the hero of your own story, you don't just grow, you inspire others to start their own journey. So let me share with you my own hero's journey. About 5 years ago, I was at my lowest point. I'd lost my business, my gym, my family, my health, and my identity. On the outside, I looked like I had it all together, but on the inside, I was drifting in a wasteland of complacency. I was living without discipline. I started drinking alcohol to sedate, and it was destroying me. You see, I had experienced a series of major losses: a divorce, 2019, 2020 COVID, and 2021 DUI and jail. I remember looking at my kids, asking myself, do I want to be alive for them? The answer was a simple yes. And in that moment, my call to adventure began. The point where I realized no one was coming to save me, and discipline was the only way back. Every hero faces obstacles. What were mine? The hardest battle wasn't going to the gym. It was the other 23 hours in the day. Saying no to bad habits, unhealthy foods, toxic people, my own excuses. Every hero faces obstacles in their journey. What were mine? The hardest part wasn't going to the gym. It was the other 23 hours in the day. Saying no to bad habits, unhealthy food, alcohol, toxic people, and my own excuses. I had to fight my old identity to step into a new path. What guided me on this path to return was my future, my legacy, my great uncle Jack LaLanne's voice in my head, always in the background. His example, it propelled me out of the depths. And he reminded me that strength isn't just physical, it's about discipline and getting fit between the ears. I've always been fascinated by self-development and self-discipline. And when it comes to nutrition, I made a discovery that changed everything. It's a practice that allowed me to master hunger, cravings, and even eliminate alcohol. And once I conquered that, it bled into everything else I do: my training in the gym, recovery, mindset, business, relationships. That discovery is called fasting. When I completed my first extended fast of 72 hours, I felt an amazing moment of mental clarity, physical levity. I wasn't a slave to food or old habits. That's when I knew I was on a new path, and the next level for everyone who has the courage to change and try. How did my journey change me as a man? I forged new identity. I went from being reactive to intentional, from drifting to engaged. I rebuilt my body, my business, and my inner circle. For men who are listening to this feeling stuck like I once did, you can't do it alone. Isolation is the enemy. You need a coach, a system. You need discipline. And when you commit to that discipline in making those changes, you don't just change your body, you change your entire life. The legacy that I want to leave is to show men that strength is not about shortcuts or hacks. It's about clarity, confidence, commitment. That's the real treasure of this journey.